Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chilluminati podcast, episode 258. As always, I am one of your hosts, Mike Martin, joined by two people from LA who don't matter, Alex and Jesse, and our very special guest, Twitch streamer extraordinaire, one of those who drop frames, the MCU crew, and so much more. The man, the myth, the legend, itmeJP. What's up, my man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. I would say the now defunct MCU crew because Jesse killed the show.
Jesse killed the show?
Oh, you killed the show, Jesse? I didn't even know this. Holy shit.
Jesse killed the show. He joined the stream one day and he's like, guys, can we curse on this show? No, Jesse didn't say that. I'm generally asking you two. Can we curse on this show?
Yeah. I thought you were saying Jesse asked that, and I was like, how's this?
I was like, that's so weird that Jesse asked that. He doesn't seem like that type of guy.
No. Now the whole bit's done. Now Jesse joined the call and he said, I'm fucking done. It just doesn't hit the same.
That did not happen. I didn't kill the show. I believe Marvel Cinematic Universe did.
This is all. And then he went and started a new podcast. Have you heard of his new podcast, the Dodging Cox podcast?
Dodging Cox? That's a great name.
I'm dodging Cox all the time, bro.
It's a really good name for the podcast.
Why you do this?
See, I'm already glad I have you on. Alex, we usually have a question that Alex proposes, but it's one we ask all of our guests whenever they jump on. But I'll leave it to you, Alex, to put the question forward.
Yeah, I'm not going to assume your familiarity with our show, but I think you could even just probably guess from our vibes, just from the 5 seconds that we've been live together already, that Mathis is the crazy one. I'm the kind of just out there, kind of stoned one. And Jesse's the one who doesn't believe that anything is real. Okay. So in your own life, in your own relation to the paranormal, the unsolved, the unexplained, where do you land on that spectrum?
Well, if Jesse believes none of it's real, that's what you said?
He's very skeptical, let's say.
Yes, hardcore skeptic.
If there's facts, he'll believe the facts.
Debatable.
I think I would skew on skepticism.
Thank you.
In terms of where I lie on kind of those 3 points on a grid, I guess.
Do you have like a one thing that like where that all goes out the window, like I do about like Bigfoots? I just kind of feel like they're out there, even though I know they're probably not.
Aliens for me.
Like even though I know they're probably not out there, yeah. Like I feel like maybe they are. Like I feel like they are.
I mean, I haven't thought about it too much. I would say I guess I definitely believe that there's alien life in some form. I don't necessarily think it's like little gray men, but there's got to be something out there. Like the universe is too big for it not to have something else in it.
Yeah, he sounds heavily on the Jesse side of things. Very, very heavy Jesse.
I'm just here for the stories, man. I like what happens. I like the lore.
Sure.
But the other part of the question that we always ask, because this sometimes pulls out stuff that you never expect. But do you have like that one time in your own life, like that one time when something went down that you just have no idea? Or is there like a family story, or like Aunt Griselda always tells the story of the fucking man in black that ran down the stairs that one time or whatever?
Well, a lot of, I wouldn't say that it stems anywhere in reality, but it definitely stems. I have a very active imagination, and coupled with a older brother who was, we were dicks to one another growing up. Outside my window in my childhood home, there was a tree, and the tree had a branch that would skew upwards at like a 45-degree angle and downwards at a 45 angle right in front of the window. So it formed a K. And so my brother, it formed a K at night because we had lights hitting it from the street light.
Like a silhouette.
And so my brother informed me that K stood for Kill JP.
Oh, shit.
And that someone was going to eventually come through that window one night. And I was like 7 or 8 or something like this. So like I had no other reason not to believe him. And oftentimes when I would be going to bed around 9 or 10, one of my parents would be out front watering or moving a watering hose in the garden right in front of my window. And so there were many nights where like I would see the shadowy figure move in front of my window with the words that my brother informed me about what the K stood for. And it did not go very well.
Kill JP.
That's
echoing in your head.
I love that. I was something I wish I could have done to my little brother when I was younger.
Well, whoa!
It was a fun troll that I think eventually, after 3 or 4 years, I was like, this is all bullshit. But for a while there,
I really missed out on torturing my brother for 3 or 4 years.
Listen, when you're kids, you and your brother just want to fight.
Yeah, the main way people get over fear is just like by getting bored of being afraid of it.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny to me.
Overexposure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's that exposure therapy idea.
Yeah, but I know that vibe. Like I one time I had like a fever of like 101 degrees and I was home from school and I heard like straight up like dudes walking on my ceiling, on my roof. I didn't know what it was and it was like really freaking me out. And I like called my mom on the phone at work to ask what was going on, like back when we had landlines. And I like thought I was waiting for my mom to answer the phone and I like auto dialed 911 in my brain. Like I typed in 911 and was like, they were like, what's your emergency? And I was like, I clicked the button. My bad. Bye. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what motivated my body to dial 911 instead of my mom's phone number, but I don't know. And they were just guys working on the roof, but same deal.
Yeah. Imagination is oftentimes the scariest aspect, I think, to a lot of things.
Which is why the movie Long Legs is a 5 out of 10. Thumbs down. Didn't have a good time.
Mathis with the hot take.
That's one of those things where around this time, they start spinning up advertising for like the October movies, the spooky movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And this is the worst time for me to watch TV or streaming or anything that has like ads before it, because I don't really go and watch a lot of horror films or anything like that. But when I do, the active imagination kicks in. So like, I know everything that happens in Long Legs because I'm an idiot and I go and read the synopsis of it.
I get it, dude.
Or like Hereditary. I know everything that happens in Hereditary.
Yeah.
So I read the synopsis. And so like
you lived
in my head, the scenes that happen in that film are probably 100 times worse than they actually are. Because I won't actually watch the film.
Hereditary is pretty fucked up. I'll tell you that. I don't.
Oh, Hereditary is fucking, I love that movie.
No, that movie is one of those movies that like, for 30, 40 years, you'll still be like, yo, no, that sucked. That's in my brain permanently.
Yeah.
That is, Hereditary is like, it's the horror version of Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong, because that's what it is.
I mean, there's a lot of movies like that. Like Hostel comes to mind also.
It's the horror version of the goats.
I actually seen Hostel.
I know what you mean.
It's there
I know
permanently.
Oh, okay. All right. I was trying to think of a literal analogy as to why Two Girls, One Cup was similar to Hereditary.
Because it's like, once you see it, you're like, that's there forever now.
Fair. Got it. No, I got it.
That's in the brain. I can't get rid of that. Like, cool.
It's kind of the modus operandi of this podcast is to fill your brain with nonsense that you can't unlearn. And
I would rather this be a show where when people listen, they're entertained for an hour or so and then forget it.
Put ourselves through
so in like a few years, we can just go back and do the exact same topic again. They'll be like, this is great. That's my hope.
There are topics in our early library I'd love to tackle with the resources and research we have now. Brings us to our main topic for today, everybody. I'm very excited because the government is just entirely filled with infinite secret projects that supposedly happened with fascinating whistleblowers that come forth to talk about them. And today we're very specifically talking about the government project known as Project Pegasus, which we learned through almost its entirety by a man by the name of Andrew Basiago. Now, do you know, or have you ever heard?
Andrew Basiago? He is the mortal enemy of Alex Fossiani.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like he's me with like a goatee. But I have a beard already, so it's weird. But like
he's the shaved version of you, but he has mutton chops.
He's shaved and bald, and he has a like third eye in the middle of his forehead that opens when he shoots powers out of it because he's evil.
Mortal enemy.
When I show you a clip of him later in the show, he is basically a 1970s politician in today's day and age to this point, like the way he looks. Like you'll see what I mean when you see pictures of him. He's still around, and was running for president as early as 2008, which we will also cover. It's a fascinating guy. Before we get to any of that, as always, at the top of the episode, shout out to the sources that I used to kind of just put this episode together. Andrew Basiago wrote a few books. I only used one of them, The Discovery of Life on Mars, which is written by him. Fucking boring as hell. Everything. This man's interviews, I listened to about 3 of his interviews, and he's just so boring. He takes some insane stories and somehow makes them tedious to listen to. It's an actual talent. I congratulate him for that. And then obviously just a bajillion different articles online and discussion. This man has a kind of a weird little, like, I wouldn't say cult, but conspiracy following about what he's done. And if you don't know what Project Pegasus is, the kind of elevator pitch for you here is that Project Pegasus was built to harness power beyond quote unquote human comprehension, to shatter the boundaries of space and time itself. To travel through time, to travel temporally, physically, spiritually, along with being able to see different points in time while keeping your body here in the present day, not through remote viewing, but technological breakthroughs being kept from us by the government. Yeah, so far so good. You in?
You know what? I'm in. This I know this is going to be complete nonsense, but I'm sold. Let's go.
So far, you're like in the realm of like a Call of Duty season plotline.
Yes.
This is all claimed to be 100% factual, and it's a lot. There's a lot to kind of take in here.
I love Fringe, and this sounds like Fringe.
Yes. Yes.
So let's go.
Well, if Project Pegasus sounds familiar, it's because it was in Stargate SG-1 Season 10 as an episode.
10?
The Pegasus Project was episode 3 of that season.
Oh my! Is this when they fought Anubis and his alien fleet when they arrived to defeat?
That's just the film.
Or was this the Ori? This is very important to me as a fan of Stargate.
No, this is the one where they visit Atlantis to find new clues about the location of Merlin's
is
super
this
weapon?
the intro to Stargate Atlantis, bro?
I mean,
is this the episode where they have is this like when Star Trek the Enterprise goes to SG-1 to be like, please go watch this series?
The Enterprise
the
does
thing?
not go to SG-1. That does not occur. What are you talking about?
I'm in Deep Space Nine. Look,
what? I don't know any of the references because I've never seen any.
I was like, what in the fuck are you talking about, man?
I was thinking about both. What can I say?
I had never seen SG-1, so I have no idea like if that was even an important episode. If it did lead to, because there was a Stargate Atlantis. There was one.
Yes,
it's like the vibe of like you and your friends in middle school filming like a sci-fi like short subject for fun, and then like each episode is like one of those that has like a $100,000 budget.
Hell yeah.
$100 million budget. It's the best show ever made.
I was like the Acolyte. No, very expensive. Yeah, and at the heart of Project Pegasus was Andrew Basiago himself, a self-proclaimed Indigo child who claims to have lived not one, but multiple lives through the corridors of time. And there's so much that Andrew claims to have happened in his life that he can't, I condensed what I could to put a cohesive story together here as to what he claims to be true. He says that he was chosen for his extraordinary abilities and potential, and he was thrust into this world at the age of 6.
What? Okay, hold on.
So his life just started at 6?
At 6 years old, they scooped him up and brought him into the Project Pegasus, and he was with it for many years.
Wait, so how did they find him?
His father worked for the military space and air and space stuff. Here's the thing, though. There's no public record anywhere of who this man's father is at all.
Wait, so is this kind of like 11 on the hit TV show Paranormal Activity?
Stranger Things?
Yeah, but that was based on the Montauk Project, remember?
Right, but same thing.
He's like, hey, my boss, what's up? I'm writing you an email. My kid is weird, just in case you want to know.
No, this kid was snatched up, dude.
No. Alex has a better...
The dad sold out the kid?
...understanding of what happened.
It's not like 11. It's like 1, dude.
That's just my little elevator pitch of what we're about to get into.
Who became the monster?
Wow, spoilers, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesus, Jesse. Come on, man.
Spoilers.
Jeez.
Isn't that show... How old is that show? 10 years old?
It's so old that all the kids for this last season are in their 20s.
Yes.
So like...
in an interview, Millie Bobby Brown said she started when she was 10 and she's about to turn 20.
And now she has a family.
Yeah, she has family, kids, grandkids. It's all happening. And you might have heard the term Indigo child. All I knew really about Indigo children was from the video game Indigo Prophecy before I put this fucking...
First off, that is not even remotely the same thing.
No.
Indigo Prophecy is not Indigo children.
At the end of Indigo Prophecy, there is an Indigo child that he is saving, a little girl that he has to run on the side of a building with to keep him safe.
So Indigo Prophecy is about an Indigo...
David Cage level... Remember, it's David Cage.
It's the same Indigo?
Is it the same thing with the bugs chase him?
Yes, the bug. That's the bug game. That's the one where he's fighting glowing aliens at the end.
Where he like does the spin and the bug's like, yeah!
That's a pretty good game. That's a pretty good game.
It might be one of the best games ever made. If you haven't played it, play the game.
It's the only good David Cage game.
It is a game where you are both the criminal and the cop trying to chase the criminal, and it's insane. that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's the same thing for Heavy. No, that's Heavy. And Heavy Rain is like that same exact thing. A criminal chasing himself.
Right, but one of those is Heavy Rain, and the other is literally one of the best games ever made. I don't care what anyone says.
I love that.
Indigo Prophecy slaps.
I played that game in one sitting. Anyway, we got to keep going. But yeah, Indigo Children. That's all I knew it from. And I need to look up what Indigo Child was. And I just kind of ended up in a rabbit hole. And what I learned is that Indigo Children, there's it actually cropped up in the New Age movement during the 1970s. This concept began to emerge that would kind of capture people's imaginations. The idea of an indigo child, which was a term coined by a woman by the name of Nancy Ann Tapp, a parapsychologist and self-proclaimed synesthete, which is somebody who's claims they have synesthesia, where they can like see sounds and taste colors and that kind of thing. Obviously, there was no way to prove it or not. It's all just what she claims.
I would have so many questions. If there are one of you listening right now, I want you on the show. I want to ask you.
Pharrell says he's one. Did you know that?
Does blue taste like blue raspberry? What's the vibe there?
I feel like maybe JP can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think in order to be a Twitch streamer, you have to be an indigo child.
Might be true. That might check out.
No, that's more satanic cult. Like,
oh, really?
We all had to go to the meeting.
You didn't get the satanic cult invite, Jesse, when you got partnered. They didn't say.
Oh no, I'm in, dude. I did the whole thing where you had to give up something you love.
Is that where you pick up the jacket from?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Our varsity jacket.
Is that why I never got one?
Yeah, the Twitch hoodie.
Back at conventions where they had that secret Twitch area you couldn't get through. That's why you had to be part of the club.
They thought they were being real clever with bleed purple, but like I felt like it was really obvious.
Oh my god! Oh, I never even put it together.
I felt like it was pretty obvious. Yeah.
No, you did. Yeah.
Purple, color of royalty. Twitch single-handedly taking we are the monarchy of hell. Like, it makes perfect sense.
What? Did you hear me say Pharrell is a synesthete?
Pharrell? The Pharrell?
Yeah.
According to him, he is.
There's like a famous video with him and Maggie Rogers where I think they both claim to be one.
Yes.
And he like found her during some college thing where he was listening to students work and they both just like vibed super hard. And then like he freaked out and was like, yeah, you don't need help. This is a fantastic song or something. You can go watch the video. It's actually pretty cool. But they both claim to be that.
But by the way, just for the record, one, I wonder if that affects his ability as being in the musical field. Two, I just want to say for the record, hi. We were joking about devil worship in Twitch. Wink. All right, moving on. Guys, it was just a joke. It's not happening. And we were just playing around. It's just a podcast. It's not real.
Right.
It's just a coincidence that we all are Twitch partners, all four of us.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that all of us, we would never, come on. That's so stupid. There's no...
For fame and internet fame and mediocre internet
What
money?
sucks is there actually, I guarantee there's someone who's like,
oh my God, finally they let it slip. Their eyelids blinked the other way, bro.
I haven't heard from him in years, but there was this guy who would send like email after email about how plants are literally taking over planet Earth.
I remember that guy. That got real racist real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit. Yeah. Yes.
The plants were racist?
Well, it had to do with the color of your skin and how much sun could get through. It was crazy.
It was a lot. It became like a lot.
If you're listening, if you're out there listening and you got better, sorry about that.
I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope you're all right.
Thank you to today's sponsor and honestly just a longtime partner of the show, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is what you get when you decide I'm done going to the grocery market and spending too much for what I'm eating. You get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes that are delivered directly to your doorstep, so you can skip all the hassle and overpaying at the grocery store. It's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Ditch the meal planning woes and dive into HelloFresh's biggest menu yet with over 50 recipes and even more market items to choose from every single week. Make delicious food a priority this summer as well with quick, convenient recipes delivered right to your door so you can still go out and enjoy the day and not have to worry about an hour plus in the kitchen. It cuts down time spent in the kitchen so you can get back to, spending time with family, or if you're like me, spending time with your cats. It's the same thing, sometimes even better. You're even helping the environment. On average, HelloFresh meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint than meals of the same portion size made from supermarket ingredients. And HelloFresh's pre-measured ingredients and 100% offset of their delivery emissions mean you're able to get dinner on the table while being kinder to the planet. You see, HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients help reduce food waste by up to 45% as well compared to grocery shopping. And I know I've said it before, but I keep saying, like, the perfect meal size. I genuinely waste nothing, and I'm so full after. So if it sounds like something you want to check out, sign up today. If you sign up today, you'll unlock free appetizers for life. Yeah, that's for life, as long as you maintain your subscription. Get the party started or enjoy a little pre-dinner treat with an appetizer of your choice in every HelloFresh box for free. All you got to do is go to HelloFresh.com/chillapps, APPS, for free appetizers for life. That's HelloFresh.com/CHILLAPPS. That's one appetizer per box while your subscription is active. Free appetizers for life at HelloFresh.com/chillapps. Thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's episode. So yeah, and Nancy Tapp kind of created this, coined the term Indigo Child. And this was for her kind of just coining a concept that described children who she believed possess special or unusual or sometimes straight up supernatural traits or abilities. And she associated these children with an indigo aura, which she claimed she could perceive through these kids, hence the name. Her ideas didn't really go further than that, and it wasn't until two other women, Lee Carroll and Jan Tober, who kind of took that idea and then started just cranking out books and lectures, and the concept of indigo children really gained kind of a foothold in the 90s and early 2000s, and that's how it got more popular, not really via Nancy herself, but these two others who were like, money, and then just started cranking shit out about it.
You know who I absolutely blame for this? Its success in the 90s and early 2000s? Art Bell and George Norrie.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely convinced the two of they did so many episodes on Indigo Children that made it seem like, yo, this is a thing. Absolutely blame the two of them.
100%. Just any sort of like, man, I miss Art Bell. I miss the old shows so much.
Big agree.
It's literally just X-Men though, right?
Yeah. In a lot of ways.
It's just kind of Doom Patrol.
They weren't like mutant superpower kids. They were just like,
I mean,
the mutants that like on a comparative scale of cool mutants to like shit mutants, they're all shit tier mutants. They never have any cool. They're just a little bit better than humans.
Ones that can like infinite spaghetti and meatballs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to Nancy, to go to that, Jesse, she often would say they were more possessed. They possessed more of like an extraordinary intuition, a really deep well of empathy, and a wisdom that was like seemed to be much beyond the age of the child. Like just felt way more wise. And sometimes they were gifted with like an exceptional intelligence or creativity. Nothing like crazy powerful. That stuff didn't come until the other two, Lee and Jan stepped in, started, making Indigo Children something much, much, much more.
There's a moment, I think, in this time period. I don't know if it's these two women who were involved with it. There's a moment where like Indigo Child and Star Child have sort of like a Venn diagram crossover.
Kinda, a little bit, yeah.
Where it's like who knows? Are they alien kids though, bro? Like,
do you know what Star Children are, JP? Do you know what Star Children are?
No.
Okay, a star child is a gray alien human hybrid who's planted on this earth, mostly look human, you really don't know, as like a sort of like peaceful integration of what will be two races coming together. And they're like, and then there's some people out there who think star children you're an extraterrestrial spirit inhabiting a human body, but they're always like extraterrestrial related.
Okay.
Either way, you're from outer space in some fashion. And you're just better than other humans.
Yes.
And a Indigo Child is your
just by being from outer space. No powers.
I mean, you're just like you would potentially have like the same thing as an Indigo Child, where you're just like a little more heightened in every way.
No way to actually have to show it off and prove it in any way either.
Yeah, you're just like that cross hybrid between an alien and a human that's going to eventually be how we all hang out together in the future. Like that's the vibe. And so at some point, they both kind of became the exact same thing, really, which is very strange. But
yeah, And now we get to move on to Andrew Basiago himself, who says he's in between Gen X and Boomer in terms of when he was born, but he claims he's not borderline Gen X, but he's one of the very first generation of Indigo children that were being born in this era, saying that there were many of his generation being born.
That means just between Boomer and Gen X is the Indigo children?
Yeah, I guess so. According to him, this was in an interview I listened to.
Like if you're like 55, what?
Yeah, I guess. Like I don't fucking know, dude.
What would you call an Indigo adult?
Like what do you mean? Like millennial child, we call what?
I mean, if they're no longer Indigo children, those kids are 50.
Indigold man.
Yeah.
Very old Indigold man.
Yeah.
Indigold man. Yeah.
Sounds like that sounds like somebody who would be standing next to Blackagar Boltigan in the
I was gonna let it slide, but the Indigo children sound a lot like the Inhumans. Just saying.
I'm not.
And their powers are just as stupid. Yeah, no, I get
humans with latent powers that need to be activated that were implanted in them by aliens.
Did you know Alex's favorite comic book character is Blackagar Boltigan?
I think that's Jesse's least favorite.
Yeah,
weird. Yeah, no, that's true.
That's
crazy.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So that's what we mean when we say, "Are you a Jesse or an Alex?" Is just what do you think of Black Bolt?
Yeah. What's your opinion on Blackagar Boltigan?
I mean, I'm a big Black Bolt fan, so maybe I'm the interim between a Jesse and Alex. Then
I'm just glad to know that I'm not insane.
Yeah, he's cool. He's
yeah, see? There you go.
Got cool stuff going on.
He's neat.
So does Andrew Basiago. His cool stuff started happening when he was actually very, very, very young. According to Basiago, his early years were marked by an abrupt departure from normalcy at the tender age of 6 years old. He claims to have been recruited into this program, this government program, shrouded in secrecy by his father, who he claims was Raymond Basiago, and claims was an engineer that was involved with classified government projects. Again, as far as I could just find in my research, I could not find any evidence that this man exists in any way.
Wait, not even like a birth certificate for Raymond Basiago?
No records. I couldn't find records. Literally fucking nothing. Like I could find nothing.
When you say he was recruited, what does that mean?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Well, I got all that. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
He states that his father introduced him to Project Pegasus and encouraged his participation, and this didn't happen out of the blue either. According to Basiago, in an interview from 9 years ago, as he was preparing to run for president, this was during when he was getting ready to run for president.
Of what? President of what?
Of the United States of America.
In 2008, remember? That's what he said.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah. He was running for president multiple times, by the way. Like,
I guess I didn't clock that this guy.
Oh, okay.
So he's like that kind of, he's like the dude.
One of his platforms he runs for is that teleportation is the greenest civilian form of transportation that we can create. And they already have the technology and it'll help global warming.
That checks. I mean, yeah, if it's true, it checks out.
It's not bad if it's true.
It's not bad if it's true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This reminded me, I was about to say, during the 90s, way off topic, but this guy reminds me of during the 90s, this was a dude named Bo Grits who would run for president. And he ran on the platform of God, guns, and grits. And I just want to let you all know that that's what I think of. Every time anyone says third party, I'm like, Bo Grits, dude. Bo Grits. Bo Grits.
So in this interview, he talks about a couple of the examples as a kid that gave his father like the idea to help, like put him into this program. One of the examples given is that one night when his dad was in his cellar working on one of his projects in his workshop, that he went into the workshop without his father knowing because he said he heard his dad talking. And when he went down there to figure out what his dad was talking about or who he was talking to, he quickly came to realize that his dad wasn't talking, but he was hearing his father's own thoughts.
Whoa.
Fuck. Another example he provides is, I'm going to provide the audio clip. I'm hoping you can hear it. If not, I'll just cover it with the written description I have, but here we go. Can you hear this?
He also came out of the cellar one time into our rec room, which was on the ground floor of the house. And he saw me, it's not levitating, but just causing several of my small toys, my alphabet blocks and some Tinker toys, to hover 3 feet off the ground. What I had done is pick them up and place them about 3 feet off the ground. And I was not only causing them to hover, but some of the toys were actually orbiting around each other in the way that our Earth orbits the sun.
And that was the other example he gives about.
Sounds a lot like X-Men, though. You know what I mean? Like, sounds a lot exactly like the things you see in X-Men.
But he's so fucking boring. Like, the man is just describes these things as so matter-of-factly. So it was at this point his dad's like, well, I know exactly where to bring my child, Project Pegasus. And this initiative, Project Pegasus, delved into the realm of insanity, theoretical possibilities of time travel and teleportation, and much, much more. Basiago describes being whisked away to hidden facilities and subjected to rigorous training regimens.
At 6?
At 6, all
like
in
Jason Bourne shit?
Huh?
Like Jason Bourne shit? Like
more like, I would say, like 11 from Stranger Things, but less cruel.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, kind, I guess.
It was all those kids in that room. He's no 11. He's like a 4. But yeah, I'm with you.
Was the lower number mean they're more powerful? I never got that far.
No, it was just the kids that got there first.
Okay.
Like 1 was the oldest one. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
He was the first one, yeah.
Yeah, all this was in preparation for the extraordinary experiments he would be a part of for the years and over a decade he was part of this moving forward. According to his own accounts, his immersion into the world of Project Pegasus commenced with a clandestine meeting in a nondescript hotel room. A group of unfamiliar adults, their faces he could not remember. And among them, though, was his father, Raymond Basiago, who, as he recounts, had orchestrated this entire pivotal introduction. And in any other situation, I would be calling the cops. The dad just going to a nondescript hotel room with his 6-year-old child for some men for him to meet that he can't fucking remember. He goes on to describe that the room itself was a stark contrast to the familiar comforts of his childhood home. It was sterile, devoid of personality, hummed with an undercurrent of covert operations, he says, whatever the fuck that means. I don't fucking know what that even means.
Just, it was like sick, had like neon red lights, running lights. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. He's setting up a movie scene.
Guys with clipboards.
He was informed of his selection for the top secret government initiative, a project so classified that its existence was unknown to anyone in the wider world.
And anyone at all, really.
And really anyone other.
Don't even try to look it up. You'll never find it.
You really won't. There's very little out there other than his own books.
There's no... Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Are they free so that the message can get out there?
There is one of them that is free on the Internet Archive. So yes, and that's the discovery of life on Mars, which was like the one I read.
And he put it in. He made it free, right? By choice.
I didn't look to see who made it free, so I can't comment on that. I don't know.
Oh.
The adults, Basiago kind of recalls, explained that the project's objectives with a mix of scientific jargon that he didn't understand and veiled promises of a brighter future that he'd be a part of. They painted a picture of a world where the constraints of time and space could be manipulated, where humanity could transcend its limitations and explore the vast expanse of not only the cosmos of space, but its own history via traveling through time itself. And for him as a young boy, he said this was just, he had an insatiable thirst for adventure and curiosity, and he was just completely in. But again, he's 6. I don't really know how much he really understood what was being told to him.
Could he read?
Can you read at 6? It's been a long time.
Do you think because he was so powerful mentally that he can levitate stuff that he could, like he doesn't need to read, that books read to him?
He could read their thoughts at least. He could hear thoughts, so he probably at least heard them.
Like the language of humans leaves a psychic impression on the paper that he can just read without knowing what the letters mean?
Yeah, like maybe here's the author's thoughts too.
Yeah, maybe. Oh shit.
I don't know.
When he goes talking about the tests he was put through, he said they were both physical and psychological, designed to assess his suitability for the rigors of time travel and teleportation. The evaluations, he claims, range from we're talking endurance trials to complex cognitive assessments, all aimed at ensuring that he was super special enough to get sent through time and space over and over and over again. And if you ask him where the headquarters were, he could not tell you. He said he was always shrouded in mystery, never allowed to see where they were going, hidden away from prying eyes that he just could not bring you to, even if he wanted to. But it's here that he started getting introduced to some of the enigmatic technology that underpinned Project Pegasus, things like the chronovisor and the quantum access device. Yes, Jesse? You want the chrono?
I'm going to need descriptions.
Like from the Vatican archives, hello? Don't you know about the chronovisor?
Chronovisor
that Hellboy used to stare into the past?
I don't know. I would love for the two of you who clearly do to explain it.
That's one of those helmets that they are visors that they wear at the poker table with the green, right? Like
that's all it is.
Yeah.
Damn,
That's what he's doing.
If you look through it from the inside, it shows what time it is.
It's a Google Glass. It's just like a Google Glass. These devices, according to Basiago, these devices were the keys to unlocking the mysteries of space and time, enabling him to eventually embark on extraordinary journeys through history and across the cosmos. Now, the Chronovisor, as he describes it, was a device that allowed its users to view events from the past or the future. He said it resembled a large television screen, but instead of broadcasting conventional programs, it displayed scenes from different points in time. He claims to have witnessed historical events firsthand through the Chronovisor, which will, like all the historical events that every time traveler should go see. Abraham Lincoln giving the Gettysburg Address and the Declaration of Independence being signed, all that good stuff. You get to watch it on a TV. It's just a TV that gets to, it's like fucking Rick and Morty's, like, what do you call it? That cable that they watch or whatever it is. Interdimensional cable, but it's just time cable.
Click-a-doodle or whatever, yeah.
Dude, is Rick and Morty soft disclosure?
Basically, dude. If you drink the Szechuan sauce, that's what opens your third eye, bro.
Oh, damn. Is McDonald's soft disclosure?
I'm going to keep moving. The quantum access device, on the other hand, was a teleportation machine, a small one. Basiago alleges that this device used quantum entanglement to transport individuals instantaneously across vast distances and even to other planets. He recounts being teleported to various locations throughout history as well, including ancient Rome, the Civil War battlefield of Gettysburg, and more, using a different piece of technology, which we'll get to in a moment. But with this piece, the quantum device, he even claims that he traveled to Mars on multiple locations, describing the planet's barren landscape and encountering extraterrestrial life forms.
Through the Chronovisor?
No, the Chronovisor, no. The quantum device was the teleportation thing.
And he just literally actually went there with his whole physical self.
Correct. With other people as well, which don't you worry. We'll get to.
I thought you meant he teleported his consciousness. I understand now.
No. He physically teleported himself. His whole ass body went. But that's later on in his teen years, early days in Project Pegasus. He describes them. Don't laugh. This is very serious and very true. And we're
whistleblowing like Harry Potter.
Very important things to the public. Thank you.
The public.
The public. Project Pegasus, as he describes, was like a world, other than the whirlwind of training that he was going through. He claims that he had, from the age 6 up, he was groomed for a life of secrecy and intrigue, built to be almost like a time bandit or a time spy. Like
some sort of time lord?
Some sort of time lord, maybe. Where the boundaries of reality were always constantly blurred for him, where he existed in kind of a nexus point of all places at all times. He describes other fellow child participants as well. A diverse group of young minds allegedly also handpicked for their unique abilities and potential, all Indigo children.
So it's the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, yes. I mean, yes. It's many different things within many different comics. Together, they embarked on a series of adventures, sometimes solo, sometimes paired up, sometimes as a group. And Basiago says, as a young boy.
Or sometimes the Green Lantern would show up and do a team up with them.
That would be fucking sick if he fucking did. He claims to have grappled with this weight of extraordinary experiences over his lifetime. He describes feelings of isolation and confusion. It was hard for him to kind of talk about his experiences with anybody else because nobody really could understand them other than him and the kids that were going on these trips. He recounts moments of fear and anxiety as he confronted the potential dangers and even ethical implications of what he was doing over time by time traveling and teleporting to these other things. And these things would slowly weigh on him to the point where at the end of his experience with Project Pegasus, he would leave so he could whistleblow on it and bring all of the truth forward. Just to kind of give you a tone of what he was feeling.
How old was he when he left?
He was in his 20s when he left. I don't know his exact age because his last final trips were around 1920. As far as he recounts, which again, we'll get to. Despite these challenges and this kind of weight on his shoulders, as he consistently brings up, he claims to have persevered through it all and was driven by more of a thirst for knowledge and a sense of duty to the project's kind of overall objectives of a better future. He paints kind of a picture of himself as a young boy transformed by his experiences and a child prodigy thrust into this world without really an understanding of what he was about to be doing. And as he matured within the project, his role allegedly evolved from that of a mere participant to a more active and potentially even influential one. He describes being entrusted with greater responsibilities, leveraging his unique firsthand experiences with the chronovisor and quantum access device to inform the project's research and development efforts. He also claims to have played a crucial role in calibrating the chronovisor, ensuring its accuracy in depicting historical events across vast stretches of times. So he was able to just make it better. He recounts meticulously studying past events witnessed through the device, identifying patterns and anomalies that offered valuable insights into the nature of time itself. And his experiences with teleportation also allegedly proved invaluable in the development of the quantum access device. And he describes working alongside engineers to refine the technology's targeting systems and safety protocols, ensuring safe and efficient passage through space and time. We get to the point where Basiago introduced the third piece of technology, the one that would teleport him directly to Mars multiple times, a place called the Jump Room. This is the room where he would physically teleport across space. Jesse, you look baffled that like another thing was introduced.
It just sounds like the movie Time Cop now. It sounds like the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Time Cop, where they go into their little Time Cop spaceship and then teleport through time and then end up in different, like, it just.
So what do you, when I say the Jump Room, what are you imagining in your head this thing looks like?
Oh, literal Stargate. It's straight up Stargate.
I'm imagining the Danger Room from the X-Men, except like it gets really bright and then you're gone. And then it's that thing again that we were talking about that one time of like, how the fuck do you get back? Because they never think about that shit. Like same thing with Range 4 Charlie or Range 4 Harry or whatever. It's like they all went on these like trips, these teleportation trips, and it's like, how did they return back to Earth? And it's just literally like, how about that?
And that's it. Yeah. This is it, man.
How did they do that? Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's it. You never get an answer. Well, you're both wrong. The chamber, he says, is akin to a colossal shower stall. It's extremely unassuming, but it was the key.
This is the TARDIS. This is the TARDIS.
Yeah, what does he mean by shower stall? Just like a normal shower?
Like a normal shower, I would imagine. Like one
a rectangular
tall
telephone thing? Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. That's exactly how I imagine what he means.
Is it bigger on the inside?
No, it's not. He said the walls of the jump room were adorned with shimmering panels that hummed with energy. And as Basiago steps inside, the panels would then ignite with an intense luminescence, Jesse, a bright light, which enveloped him in a tingling sensation. And in the blink of an eye, he would be transported to the target location.
So it's basically what I said, just smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less Stargate, more teleportation Star Trek vibes.
Yeah. Way more Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
His inaugural teleportation with the jump room propelled him to the desolate plains of Mars. There, he would encounter and talk about how...
Whoa! Yep. Wait, time out. Alex, are you thinking what this actually is?
What?
He entered a thing and then just was teleported to Mars?
Oh, you mean like, is it like he's on drugs or like he's in a VR?
Is it like a certain movie based on a novel?
Oh, like John Carter of Mars?
Yes.
The finest, one of the finest films ever made?
Is this just John Carter?
I've never seen John Carter on Mars, so
something that me and Jesse can agree on is that John Carter is the lost masterpiece of our modern age.
John Carter slaps, dude. I don't care what anyone says. I love John.
Have you seen John Carter, JP?
No, I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking you're going to say like Doom or something, Jesse, not John Carter.
No, John Carter critically panned.
Special effects by Pixar.
Was John Carter with John Cena?
No, it was Friday Night Lights. It was Friday Night Lights was the main guy. I can't remember that guy's name.
Oh.
It's Disney trying to create their own Star Wars before they had Star Wars. And the movie flopped because they did not know how to market it.
Wait, are you talking about Riggins from Friday Night Lights? Who?
The kid, the like cute kid who's like kind of got like Gambit energy.
Oh yeah, that was Riggins from the show.
Yeah.
And I'm blanking on the actor's name.
Yeah, for some reason he's in True Detective also. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah. Huh? No, I've never seen John Carter.
It is imagine a guy from like Civil War era.
That's when it was written. Like,
oh really? Is that old? Shit.
And he ends up teleported to Mars and he gets caught up in a Martian revolution.
I mean, it sounds sick.
It's
Was the movie actually good though, or was it just like
it's directed by Brad Bird or something like that? I think the story is Edgar Rice Burroughs, who invented Tarzan. Also, like, dude rules. Like, it's sweet. Like, Andrew Stanton. It's not Brad Bird. It's Andrew Stanton. But the actual special effects are by Pixar, and Willem Dafoe's in the movie.
Oh, damn! I did not know that last bit.
Get wrecked.
So yeah, he gets teleported. Going to Mars is an inaugural use of the jump room.
The jump room.
As Basiago gets there and starts surveying his surroundings, he knew he was going there. They didn't just like throw him in there and he just appeared in Mars. Was like, oh, I guess I'm here. No, he knew this is where he was going. And he realized that as he looks around, Mars is not too dissimilar looking, at least in terms of like landscape, to Earth, at least according to him. Bearing everything looking red.
Is it just
and
space?
Mountainous. What was that?
Is it just space, or did he travel in time to Mars as well?
Good question.
Both. He does. This is just now, but there is a point in time, according to him, that he jumps to Mars in the future, which is where he would meet the extraterrestrials.
Oh.
Did they ever talk about like timelines and like messing stuff up?
He kind of keeps that kind of vague and not really.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
No, not particularly.
Does he mention how he gets back from Mars when he...
Jump room, dude.
Oh, I think he holds on to this quantum device and that gets him home, from my understanding.
Okay, cool. Nice. I got enough to make a PS3 game. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, enough to run a PS3 game. Yeah. He talks about the Martian landscape a bit in his interviews. He said it's very barren, kind of had a ruggedness to it, towering volcanoes, yawning canyons that scarred the planet's surface, while a profound quote-unquote stillness permeated the air. Basically just desolate. He's very much using very flowery words to describe desolate.
What year was this that he wrote this information?
He wrote all this information.
No, but like what year?
Oh, talking about the Mars stuff, you're looking at like the 90s, 80s-ish, late 80s, early 90s, I think this is his book.
Interesting.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to see if we knew about the actual...
How much we knew about Mars. I honestly don't know what our Martian... landscape knowledge was in the 80s.
I feel like we must have seen it before we've been there, right? I feel like we must have.
I think yes. I think there were pictures. I think we'd known about it by the time this had come out.
Oh, sure. I'm talking about like detail wise.
No, I think yes, he had seen pictures, and I know he sees pictures about certain things because we're going to reference that in a minute. Beyond that, like he just continues to talk about how barren it is, but then he goes on to say that beyond the barrenness of the planet, there are things that aren't being shown in images to the public about Mars. We're talking reminiscent ancient ruins that bear enigmatic symbols and hieroglyphs that are etched upon the faces of these ruins. Vast dust-laden plains stretch towards the horizon, and their surfaces, he says, are pockmarked with craters and canyons and these ruins throughout. And then there's what he calls the awe-inspiring Olympus Mons, the solar system's most colossal volcano. He talks about how fucking cool that looks in person. So yeah, there's obviously like ancient aliens who lived there at some point as well. And some point in the future, there are also going to be aliens there.
That's so funny that's like the vibe with Mars. Like every like writer is like, there were people on Mars, but no longer.
Yeah. Yes. Very much.
It's really, really like a trope for some reason. Interesting.
Despite like, and he talks about the hazards of like the rarefied atmosphere that posed respiratory challenges. He talks like he wasn't wearing safety gear and that he kind of just went as himself, like without any like space suits on.
So did John Carter, dude. So did John Carter.
But
John Carter was like naked, dude. He could just like, they had different gravity.
It's true. And he could jump really far because of the different gravity. Yeah. He was like Superman on Mars.
He was like Goku without the weights.
Yeah, dude.
It was on his second excursion to Mars that he would be joined by a partner, by somebody else who was also an Indigo child, raised in the Project Pegasus, just like him, somebody who had special abilities just like him that everybody within this podcast knows.
Ooh,
Alex Faciani.
Hold on. I need to know. I had a guess, but you mean we know them?
Not know them personally. We know them as a person. Like we just know
John F. Kennedy.
Were we guessing? Okay.
We know them. Who is it?
He went with none other than a young Barack Obama.
You know what? I believe all this now.
Huh.
My God. Oh my god!
Barry went to Mars. Absolutely,
This just went from
With
like
him.
This just went from like typical like Mathis finds a crazy guy who pretends like he was in the military episode to like this is now like I don't even know where we're at now. Like now we're just like in like this guy's crazy ride. Like this is not even.
Is the implication like when did this story come out? Where he said Barack Obama was
During
there.
Obama's presidency.
So this, all right, this is either, this is rough, because this either is A, he's like, Obama was there, and that's, why he got
a bunch of crimes that I saw.
Or B, suddenly really racist. Like there's like, we are in.
Doesn't get racist. It doesn't get racist.
I'm just saying though, like we're in that spot where he's like, how else could he be in charge? Because he was part of the secret experiment. He went to Mars and he has future powers.
I ran for the president too, and I didn't win. What does that tell you?
Yeah, what does that tell you? Why is he chosen, not me? Like that's what
The only thing he says is Barack Obama isn't his actual name. His real name is Barry Soetoro.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But it was changed in Project Pegasus, like many, because they can't, especially since he was going to become president.
And they went with Barack Obama. That's what they changed it to.
Yep, that was what they went with. Yeah. Yep.
Was he Barack Soetoro?
No, he just says Barry Soetoro is all he says. So I don't know.
Okay.
Barry Soetoro.
He doesn't give he doesn't elongate on if he meant Barack with Barry or not.
Just for the record, his name was Barry.
Yep.
But
And then the government, yeah.
he chose
Barry. Then he wrote an autobiography of his own life.
like
Told his entire life story.
That's what I'm saying. Like Barack, I thought Barry was his nickname, but you're telling me that like the man changed his name from Barry, and he just was like, you know what, Americans love. I'm going to throw Hussein right in the middle of that, and then run for president.
No, I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense, but
Well, it's top of mind, Jesse.
maybe the government already decided that Obama was going to be president, so it didn't matter what his name was going to be. He got put into office, and
Yeah, it was subliminal voting is what they call it.
subliminal voting. That's all it took.
They see Hussein and they it's top of mind, right? Because of politics, and then they check it.
Right. When they set this plan up years ago, back in the 90s, that's all anyone could think about.
Yep.
Yep.
Barry Soetoro. Bro.
Barry Soetoro, yeah. This claim that he had encountered Obama was part of this. This story took such a hold on a subsect of the public that the White House had officially had to respond to the claim. So this comes from an article from The Wired. And it's back when he was addressing the claim, says, quote, officially, the White House says Obama never went to Mars. And then they say the White House, I know. It's official. And then the White House said, quote, only if you count watching Marvin the Martian. Tommy Vietor, the spokesman for the National Security Council, tells Wired.
With his P-34 modulator. Yeah.
But that's exactly what the secret chrononauts want you to
Barry,
believe.
get back here. Our invasion of Earth begins at sunset.
Barry Hussein Soetoro. We are placing you deep into cover as Barack Obama.
They'll never expect it coming.
Funnily enough, this group, Obama wasn't the only one that was making this weird voyage, as Barry Soetoro, the 19-year-old Obama, was one of 10 youths selected to secretly teleport to and from Mars, forming a band of interplanetary sort of teen titans. This again is from Wired. Regina Dugan, the director of DARPA, was also another supposed member of this group going to Mars. And it was taking place between the years of 1981 and 1983. And Obama is supposed to have visited Mars twice by way of teleportation chamber from the jump room. Basiago, who was another chrononaut, as they deemed it, went on to tell the website that Exopolitics, that the website was called Exopolitics, that he saw Obama, quote, walk back to the jump room from across the Martian terrain. To acknowledge his comrade, Obama is said to have told Basiago, we're here, apparently, with what he says, with what Basiago said is some sense of fatalism in his tone of voice.
Like Han Solo?
Don't look at me like that. That's all I could do for an Obama profession. That's all I could do.
No, dude, I'm impressed you went for it.
You gotta give it a shot. You might as well.
Your dogs got hype when you did that Barack Obama.
Yeah, they were like, is that Is that the president?
Well, everyone knows dogs voted Obama back in the day. Like, how he won.
Bark Obama.
Big with dogs.
Yeah. So apparently he said we're here with a sense of fatalism to it. I don't know why.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's just implied like that, like there's some like drama between Obama and Mars.
No, he was deadly serious, I
We're
guess.
here.
Yeah, I guess.
We're fucking here.
It's not known what exactly Obama did on Mars while he was there.
I think he smoked weed and he inhaled.
Pot. Yeah, weed, I think. Pretty sure
he
that's
held
what
it in for a long time and then he was high for several hours.
That's where he got the tan suit. He went to Mars to buy it. And then,
His tailor, Martian. Yeah.
That's why it was so weird.
According to Basiago, all we know is that his mission was a perilous one. The CIA wished to, quote, establish a defense regime protecting the Earth from threats from space, as well as a legal claim to territorial sovereignty, making Obama maybe he was there as something of like a Martian diplomat or something to like kind of like try and establish a human presence on the planet.
Okay, so what you're saying to me is anyone who said anything shitty about Obama, really, that man was out there establishing intergalactic communications with other species, and y'all owe him thanks, is what I'm hearing.
Keeping us safe from Romulans. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh my God, is he Zephram Cochrane? Is he our Zephram Cochrane?
It kind of is. You just went, all you had to do was walk in one small step into the jump room.
Yeah, that was it.
Apparently, one of the other chrononauts, retired Army Major Ed Dames, is allegedly told a young Obama that, simply put, your task is to be seen and not be eaten.
What?
Yep. Simply put, your task is to be seen and not eaten.
Simply put, don't get your ass eaten.
Yeah, or do. I mean, if you're into it, I'm not going to judge.
What the fuck is going on Mars?
I don't know. Like
Mars gets down.
Yeah, no shit. Like, clearly.
Freak nasty.
Why are people getting eaten on Mars? And by what?
I don't know. They don't fucking say. He never fucking says. Maybe he says it in another book that I did not read. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing out there.
That's just not where I thought we were at with Mars, like, based on anything that you have said thus far. I didn't imagine that there was going to be, like...
Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's like one of those things where he's like, don't get eaten. Because, like, the aliens are vegetarians or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe they are. Regardless, Basiago, through the jump chamber, he got a lot of experience. And that, coupled with him being a prodigy, an Indigo child, or an Indigo teen now, I guess, at this point. This expertise, coupled with his still youthful perspective on everything, allegedly positioned him as a trusted advisor to many of the project's leaders. He describes himself as a bridge between scientific minds leading the research and the project's directors grappling with the ethical and philosophical ramifications of time travel and teleportation. He recounts advocating for the creation of a comprehensive ethical framework to govern the technologies. Allegedly, he argued that time travel missions should be undertaken with extreme caution and only for clearly defined purposes, such as gathering historical information or preventing catastrophic events from happening. He also reportedly expressed concerns about the potential for paradoxes and unintended consequences, urging for thorough simulations and risk assessment before deploying into the jump room.
I have a question.
Yeah?
How do they simulate the effects of a paradox?
Fantastic question.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I got for you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you guys.
He says they used the chronovisor and studied the chronovisor a lot to prepare for these missions.
Oh, so wait, hold on. Is chronovisor like when Doctor Strange was like, I looked into the future and there's only one way for us to win? Like that kind of vibe?
Sure.
I think actually, yes.
I think you might be right.
I think maybe the more important question is, how does he view time paradoxes? Like, is it the Back to the Future paradox, or is it the multiverse theory?
This is why you never want to write time travel into your plots, because
you have to define so much.
Yeah, and then it just becomes just chaos that you can no longer control. Till Loki comes in and just says, it's just story, just chill.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I feel like if he was talking about, I feel like traveling back in time is so much easier to think about than traveling forward. Yet traveling back in time has more paradoxical problems, while traveling forward, you can just bullshit the entire thing. But it's like, The future doesn't exist yet. So how, like, there's...
Yeah, it feels like traveling forward in time is like almost meaningless because it's like almost impossible that you would end up in the same future that you like would end up in if you waited, right? Because there's so many variables.
Or if you do travel in time, then maybe that's what's supposed to happen. But yeah, then you would be there at the time you would travel forward in time. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it just gets all fucked. With his influence continuing in regards to teleportation and time travel, he also claims to have been the champion for safety protocols that went beyond simply ensuring a subject arrived at their destination in one piece. He says he pushed for extensive medical and psychological evaluations prior to any teleportation attempts to identify and mitigate any potential risks posed by the stresses of transdimensional travel on the human body and mind. He also advocated for limitations on travel distances, arguing that the further one ventured, the greater the chance of unforeseen complications arising from distortions in the space-time continuum. Additionally, he reportedly called for a complete ban on any attempts to teleport living beings to uncharted territories or potentially hostile environments, arguing that the risks of sending someone into the unknown were just simply too great. He believed that uncrewed,
like Frozen 2.
He believed that uncrewed probes should be used for initial scouting missions for any new destination, ensuring a baseline level of safety before allowing human subjects to venture there. So, common sense safety protocols for technology that definitely exists. He also further alleges that he played a key role in the development of any new improved versions of the chronovisor and shit that came along. He was very much part of that stuff. And some of the fun places he teleported to during all this stuff, he was at Gettysburg. He claims that he transported back to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on November 19th, 1863, and got to listen to Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.
As you would do, as every cool person would do.
Yeah, and this was one of the journeys that that was just like an experiment. He wasn't supposed to do anything, get involved, take anything. He was supposed to just get there, listen to the Gettysburg Address, and then get back. Like, just see if it could work.
Sure.
Yeah, he accounts his trip in detailed and vivid memory. He describes being ushered into a nondescript building, into the jump room, and inside they entered that brightly lit area, blinking lights. They were told that they kind of talked about the jump room safety protocols before the process of teleportation happened, which he always described as disorienting and unsettling. And after they arrived at their destination, he said he found himself amidst a throng of people gathered near a raised platform, and he recognized Abraham Lincoln standing right in front of him. And he just talks about what it was like to be there.
What, did he recognize him from the dollar bill? How did he recognize his ass? Is there even a fucking picture of his ass anywhere? There is like one, right?
For what, Abe Lincoln?
Yeah,
Abe Lincoln. Yeah, but we have I feel like you would know Abe Lincoln if you saw him.
Yeah, you would see the mutton chops. Although I guess everyone else would kind of look similar.
Yeah, I guess it's true. But Abe Lincoln was like notoriously tall, wasn't he?
Did he ever mention like how they handled the different garb that he would wear when he would travel like this? Like, did he go dressed up as
he said? So here's the thing. He says he felt uncomfortable because his attire stuck out compared to everybody else. So clearly the answer is no.
Then he sent him back in like
sent him
an
back
Adidas
in
tracksuit,
normal fucking clothing.
Yeah,
I imagine they took away like his wristwatch and shit. That's like clear technology. But beyond that, like he said, he's like, I felt out of place because my clothing just didn't belong in the time period. I'm like, okay, whatever. The other place he talks about having gone is Ford's Theater because he was there during the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln as well. Well, he was sure. It was all part of the project, the secret government project. Again, there to just kind of gather information. He said the atmosphere. He was close enough, but not within the box itself to see the shooting. So just bizarre nonsense.
He didn't try to stop it.
No, he did not. It was another one of those information gathering like missions.
It was to observe, not interrupt. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
He sounds like an observer from Fringe, really.
Sure, but you also did say that you said they'd stop catastrophic events if necessary.
Yeah, and I imagine ones that like aren't supposed to happen. I don't understand what he means by that.
World-ending events, probably. Like the observers.
Oh my God, just like Umbrella Academy.
So he looks into the future.
Sure.
And he says, this is about to go down. And then he goes and handles it?
Or ones in the past that need our time traveling intervention to prevent,
but
which is why they didn't happen in the first place.
But did they already occur, or they are about to happen in the past?
Like, think 1801.
Oh, you mean a paradox?
Maybe like 1801, a giant comet is crashing into Earth. It's going to destroy all of humanity. But time travelers know about it happening already, existing.
How would they know?
And they go back to stop it because
it already stopped.
I don't fucking listen. This is why I don't write time travel into anything.
If it doesn't exist, then how would they know to go back and stop?
No, they stopped it from happening. So maybe they broke the comet up. I don't know.
Right, but by stopping it from happening, it never existed. So how would they know in the future that it happened?
No, it happened. They just stopped it by blowing up the comet instead.
Right, so then it never happened.
But maybe they have a
so how would they know to go back and do it?
This is multiversal theory, is what you're trying to say, Jesse. That's the answer.
Yeah, I'm saying it doesn't clock.
The new thing was created when they went back and stopped it.
Yeah, hypertime is what we want.
Yeah, so there's also timelines where they just didn't.
Yeah.
My brain hurts. I don't. So what's the point if that's how it goes? What are you? Who gives a shit?
Good question.
Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Good question.
I don't know. I don't know what any of it means. I
Good
spent
question.
a week reading about this bullshit. Please stop pulling at the strings. It's all held together with duct tape, hope, and spit. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. Oh God! And as the years went on, with his active participation within Project Pegasus, he claims that he became increasingly disillusioned with the project's objectives and methods. He describes a growing sense of unease and ethical discomfort as he witnessed the potential for these technologies to be used for nefarious purposes instead of the utopian outlook that he was promised. He also recounts...
like Time Cop.
I've never seen Time Cop. I just don't understand the reference ever. I don't understand.
I'm going to keep saying it because everything we talk about on the show is slowly becoming Time Cop.
He also recounts... have you seen Time Cop, JP?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Van Damme's classic Time Cop. Yeah, it's fantastic.
He also recounts instances of internal corruption and power struggles within the project, which further eroded his faith in its leadership and goals. As a result, he claims to have made the difficult decision to distance himself and leave Project Pegasus, seeking to expose its secrets and warn the world of its potential dangers to the world.
Oh, I mean, it's a good thing the government doesn't care enough to stop him from doing that.
Well, yeah, what's even crazier is that after he left, he still claims that he time travels. And so that implies one of two things. He stole a device from the project that allows him to do so.
The jump room?
Or something, another technology that it didn't talk about, like a new secret, portable version of the jump room. Or someone sneaking him into the jump room? But it's why? And what's the point? And I don't understand.
It is not known.
He just talks about it.
Insane. He just glosses over that.
Is it like the watches in Avengers?
Maybe.
Where they synchronize and go through, he's like, I don't need the whole pad, just the watch will do.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
So he's just so I traveled to the future, and he doesn't explain how anymore after he leaves the place?
He leaves it kind of up in the air as to how he's doing it. And it's kind of bizarre because he went out to such lengths to describe the project and its tech. And now that he's out of the project, he almost wants to keep that plot line part of his story, but without explaining how he's doing it. It kind of makes no sense. Not that much of this makes sense in the first place. But he said at this point, his departure was a huge turning point in his life, and he was left for years grappling internally and emotionally with the implications of his experiences, wrestling with himself with the ethical and moral complexities of what he did with time travel and teleportation. And he describes a period of self-reflection and kind of soul-searching as he sought to try and reconcile with what he just went through his entire life and with his newfound understanding of the potential dangers for these technologies, which is the reason we didn't get a book about this until way, 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 way later. And so driven by this sense of responsibility and desire to warn the world, this is where Basiago claims to have embarked on a mission to expose the truth about Project Pegasus. He alleges to have reached out to journalists, researchers, government officials, sharing his firsthand accounts and providing evidence to support his claims. However, his efforts were met with obvious skepticism and people just ignoring his messages outright.
What?
Do we know when he left?
He claims he left in the mid to late 80s. It was shortly after his trip to Mars with Obama, a few years after that. So that was 80s, late 80s or so.
Okay.
Is when he left. And then he spent the next essentially 10 years, getting over it before he would start writing, trying to do interviews and writing books and
planning his presidential campain. Yeah.
Yeah. Before he started, as president.
Do you think Barack Obama got the idea from him?
He was like, if he can run, I can run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me this dude ran?
Well, you mean Barry, not
Barry. Barry saw
Right.
Yeah, so Taro.
Yeah.
His real name.
You got to call him his real name. Now that we know it.
Yeah, we might as well. So he began, obviously, despite the setbacks of like trying to reach out to media and media just saying go away, he persisted regardless, believing, according to him, that the world had a right to know the truth. So he published articles, gave interviews, spoke at conferences, sharing his experience with anybody he could get to fucking listen to him. And then that's how he kind of started his like cult-like kind of public figure that like within like the depths of conspiracy theory, like he started stirring about. And he started getting, as most people do, ardent supporters and mixed with staunch critics. Lots of people hailed him as a whistleblower and a visionary for a potential future that our Earth could have, while others labeled him as a fraud and a con man. And which makes, I will make no judgment. I'm here simply to produce the facts. Over time, his story gained more traction, attracting the attention of a wider audience, and his claims resonated with those who believed in the possibility of time travel and, of course, secret government projects. He became kind of a symbol of like hope for those who felt marginalized and disenfranchised by, I would say, like the US government. And it makes sense with his story of the bright future that he's fighting for and the utopian world that he believes this technology could give us if only the government would make it public and stop using it for nefarious purposes. His story, kind of after he leaves, beyond the public claims, we know that Basiago is and was an actual attorney specializing in environmental law.
That's extra embarrassing. Isn't that what RFK specializes in too?
I don't know, actually. I have no idea what RFK specializes.
Does that mean he's an Indigo child too? Is that where he got the brainworm?
It could be.
Yeah. Dude, it's the brainworms from the
Is that
boys.
a Star Child? Yo! It's just like the Goal, bro. It is Stargate SG-1. Whoa!
You think his brainworm was a ghoul?
Yeah, man, he's a Goal.
Is that what those owls are too?
Other than running for office, he also, I just want you to know, like, he ran for president. The last time he ran for president was 2016.
Under what party?
Independent.
How old was he? Or is he?
He was born in 1967.
Oh, okay. He's not that old.
So he's 60-ish. Like 50, 58?
No, because remember, he was scooped into this at the age of 6, man.
59, right? What am I thinking? No, 69?
Yeah, something like that, I think. You're somewhere around there.
Is he running in 24? I'll vote for him.
No, he's not running in 24 as far as I could see. No, 2016 was the last time he ran, it looks like.
Okay, all right.
And he has authored, beyond that, he's authored multiple books, including the one that I mentioned before, The Discovery of Life on Mars, and then the other book called Andrew Basiago, The Autobiography of a Time Traveler.
Man. Can you imagine writing that as like at the top of a document that you're about to write?
Yeah.
Alex Fasciani, The Diary of a Time Traveler. And then I go.
So I'm going to end this with a very clip, what he puts forward as the abstract of his book/paper, The Discovery of Life on Mars. So he opens, it's just a little paragraph, but he goes, the first line is, there's life on Mars. Evidence that the red planet harbors life and has for eons was discovered by the author, author being him, by examining NASA photograph PIA 10214, which I went and found and I have for you, which I'll link in the group chat here on Riverside.
Yes. Wait, so his entire basis is because of
he's been to Mars.
Well, nobody believes that he went to Mars himself, but this is his evidence.
But he said, okay, so the evidence is this. Oh my God, yeah.
Didn't bring anything back using a publicly available picture as his evidence.
I can't wait to see what you're about to say about this image.
Yeah.
It's pretty low res, I gotta say.
So this is a westward view of the West Valley of the Columbia Basin in the Gusev crater that was taken by the Mars exploration rover Spirit in November of 2007 and beamed back to Earth. This photograph has been the subject of public speculation since January 2008, when what appeared to be the figure of a human female was found jutting from the edge of the plateau.
What?
I'll give you a second to see if you can find it. If not,
what?
I'm like at full zoom and I can't see shit.
What do you mean a human female? What the?
Is it that gray shit?
You said on the left side?
He says yes. The figure, human female, was found jutting from the edge of the plateau. He didn't give a size.
Is it just this little gray shit right here?
I gave you another link. That is another part of the book that has a zoomed in picture of what he's speaking about.
Where in the fuck is that in the picture?
Where's that? Yeah, where's that in
idea.
the image?
No fucking clue. I do not know. No idea.
Oh, it's the far right side of the photograph.
Okay, you got it. There you go.
Far right side.
I'm looking at this photograph. Maybe it's like super tiny.
It's probably mega tiny. I couldn't find it. I tried, but I couldn't find it. He goes on to say, the figure was quickly dismissed as a natural rock formation produced by wind, water, and time. But the author, again himself, and other researchers in the Mars anomaly research community, very respectable, believe that it was either a statue or the fossilized remains of a humanoid being on Mars. Intrigued by this anomaly, the author subjected PIA 10214 to further photo analytic scrutiny and discovered that the photograph contains other images of human and animal life forms that constitute the first evidence of life on Mars.
I must stress to everyone at home how absolutely insane it is to think that scientists wouldn't be the first people to be like, there's a body on Mars. Like, I know everyone wants to believe in cover-ups. Literally, they backed over a rock. Like, this is all over the news. They backed over a rock on Mars and discovered in the rock was pure sulfur. And they were like, oh shit. And they told everyone instantly. They were like, yo, we discovered sulfur on Mars, dude. I'm just letting you know. Scientists are not the same as like government officials. They would be like, body, bro. There's a body right there. Like they would rat themselves out. Are you kidding me? They'd be like, they're trying to cover it up, dude, but there's a body on Mars.
Body, bro.
Are you telling me I can't trust the Mars anomaly research community?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like they're lying to you.
I found a higher res version of the picture, and I'm trying to find this figure, and I just can't.
Yeah, I'm looking for it too.
I do see it.
You said it's in the far right.
No, it's in the far left. It's in the far left.
Oh, it's far left?
I see it. I found it. It's definitely, it's like right on the edge.
Remember, he's referring to himself in the third person this entire paper. In this paper, the author presents his initial data related to the discovery of life on Mars in PIA 10214 in 5 areas, namely evidence of humanoid beings, animal species, carved statues, built structures, and dead bodies. The life on Mars consists of intelligent, bipedal hominids capable of carving statues and building structures, and a variety of animal species that once existed, he says, he puts both there, or that have never existed on Earth.
Why the fuck would they put a statue in the middle of nowhere? Like, there's nothing else around. Why would there be a person in the middle of like a desert that's fossilized above ground?
Well, it looks like that there's a cliff, right? So like what's underneath it?
Like, you think that's the top of like a tower with like a person on top?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Also, there are many other images just looking at this that you could say that is the fossil of a body if you wanted to. Like, there's one on towards like the middle right, down towards the rover on the first sort of cliff face down into the valley, where there's the thing. It looks like dude's got like the Chewbacca.
But that's what he's saying, Jesse. That's what he's saying. The more you look at this picture, the more you see other things.
Wait, couldn't you just do math by looking at this image to see how far away that would be to see the size of what that
100%. And the math, that's like a little tiny gnome child, if that's the
case. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He goes on to say that the predominant species is reptilian.
Sure.
He also addresses frightening content and definitional constraints that individuals in Mars anomaly research confront when evaluating this first view by human civilization of life forms and ancient artifacts on another planet. He concludes that the discovery of life on Mars marks an epochal moment in human history when, for the first time, human beings from Earth have encountered biological organisms living elsewhere in the cosmos. This entire 41-page paper is written because of this one photograph.
Outrageous.
So this is less of a we discovered life on Mars and more of a
look at this picture.
By saying there's life on Mars, it makes everything else I tell you true.
Yes. Yeah, it's a way closer way to look at it. And that way you can look at all these pictures. And like you said, Jesse, you can look at all those rocks and your brain can eventually put together some bones, because pareidolia is an actual goddamn thing.
Yeah. And it just seems like you would have to ask, what motivations would he have for pushing life on Mars so much? Because he said, I've been to Mars and I hung out in cities with aliens and saw volcanoes and shit. And so it's like, see, I'm not lying.
Don't forget Obama.
Right.
And Barry was there. Barry knew.
Has anyone ever asked Obama about this? I know you said they asked the White House.
The White House
did he ever say it? He never responded to it. Okay.
I bet you Kimmel did or something.
I have not seen anything about Obama directly responding, and God, I wish he did.
Yeah.
The fact that the White House had to actually say something is insane.
Yeah.
The fact that like it was 08 too.
I'm sure it happens more than we know, right?
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably does. And he's still out there today, actively still doing the stuff. You can even look at his web archived 2016 presidential site. Takes a minute to load if you care enough, but there's a link for you there if you give a shit at all. Yeah, that's where our story of this ends. He's still pushing as though it is real and true. Again, part of his platform is making public teleportation technology to combat global warming.
Why didn't Obama run on that?
I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. Hope and change could have meant so much more back then.
How does teleportation... Actually, never mind. No, I get it. Teleportation would be green. Although it brings up another moral quandary. Is it teleportation similar to Star Trek? In which case, are you the same you after you teleport?
It's like Ship of Theseus conversation with Vision and White Vision. Oh, shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people wouldn't do it, dude.
Wait, this guy looks... He looks way more normal than what I was.
Yeah, but the blurb is like Saints Row.
Yeah, most people that do this are not like crazy haired, like aliens, man. Like that's
this YouTube link I gave you. This is one of the interviews I listened to. This is what I mean by it looks like a 70s or 80s politician in like the 2000s still. Like he just looks like a boring man. And the thing is, he's a boring man. Like the way he describes these things is like
the person that he's talking to seems more out there than him.
I love the old man also kind of constantly giving him confused blinks. They keep cutting away to the old man in the interview and he's like, I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm fucking stoned.
So bizarre.
Yeah, he's just a normal looking dude. He doesn't look fucking crazy at all. Like if you just looked at him and was like, he's running for office, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
So bizarre.
Yeah. And that ends our story, however, of Andrew Basiago and Project Pegasus, the real identity of President Obama and our trips to Mars.
You gotta look at his Facebook page. Holy shit.
Oh, I didn't even look at his Facebook page.
This is great. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my God. Holy
oh no.
Yo, this is incredible.
Holy shit.
Look at all those photos.
The profile pic. The fucking his previous jobs all listed. Former chrononaut at Project Pegasus.
Former chrononaut at Mars Jump Room Program, 1980 to 1984, baby.
So many weird ones.
He was on a show called The Martian Revelation in 2020.
Fuck.
And they have a bunch of thumbnails for it. And it's honestly like, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
This is insane. I am so mad. Is that
Martian? Oh my God. It's like Angry Birds.
No, look at this. Look at that image I just posted. I don't know if that's going to load.
I must. Again, potentially a little racist. That's what I'm saying.
This is like
a little racist.
They made him a green alien. They made him
They picked a terrible Obama photo and made him green. It's you know what?
And you can just see on Basiago, you can see where he just took the eraser tool and just made a U under the rest of his body and got rid of the rest of it.
I'm unsettled that I'm actually still logged into Facebook.
I must stress to you, if you ever ask, why would people do this? Why would they sacrifice part of their life? And like, why would they put themselves? Because you get to put yourself into weird ass art like this, where they straight up just like Photoshop themselves with the aliens and stuff and look cool like that. People will do anything to look cool. That's
you
not
get to be the main character of a story that a small subsect of people believe is real.
Yeah. He's got all these images of him like with Mars and like the Martian Revelation, Stargate. Oh yeah.
And that is a taste for you, JP, of what Chilluminati is. Chaos. He's lost. He's lost in this man's Facebook page.
No, this guy's Facebook. Dude. Look at this image. Hawaiian dolphins and the multiverse.
Yep. That sounds about right for this man.
I've never seen something that looked more like a GeoCities photo my entire life.
And look at the woman's name who's presenting it.
Joan Ocean, obviously.
Joan Ocean. Holy fuck.
With artist John-Luc Bozzoli.
Dude, this is crazy.
Oh God.
Dude, I'm reading these pages and it's like somebody asked him on his page if he thinks that Trump's going to win in 2024. And he writes this response through Michael Petrovich. It says, Andrew D. Basiago writes, Yes, I think Trump will win in 2024 because Biden is viewed as utterly demented and absolutely incompetent, especially on the economy, and by allowing 10 million or more migrants to invade the country. This has allowed a bizarre illness to pervade the country. I myself was sick with it for all of January.
So COVID is a migrant thing?
I told you, brother. Conspiracy thought always leads to weird, racist, like nonsense.
Every time.
Like I stopped at 2008 with this guy. I was like, basically, I was like, that's it. That's all I need. Little did I know.
He posted like his entire campaign in 2016 of all the different things that he's running on. Like banning fracking is environmentally unsound. Cold fusion is the new source of affordable, clean, green energy. Defending water is a human right and public good. Opposing a moratorium on nuclear power. Making Detroit a center of electric car making, preparing for disaster from global warming, protecting human beings and their environment, protecting the legality of self-reliance.
Okay, see now, so like he started, I was like, I'm with this guy. I like it. Now he's like, and we're going to get real weird.
He's like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Protecting the nation's forest from fire, reducing the toxicity of everyday living. That's great.
All that sounds so much fun.
And then achieving teleportation-based transport. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. There you go.
Achieving.
When he says reducing the toxicity, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh yeah, like fast food and getting rid like additives, and I guarantee he's like vaccines. Yeah, they're terrible for you.
He wants to legalize weed.
I'm sure he does.
But that was 2016.
This was 2016, Andy. You're right.
We did.
That's the website, Andy2016.com.
Yeah, that's the Andy 2016 website. Yeah. And then now it's different. Now we got a mysterious illness. How quickly that all happens and spirals out of control.
Why did he run if he knew he wasn't going to win? Didn't he go to the future?
But it doesn't sound. No, actually, phenomenal question. Because I was like, well, he didn't take the chrono vision, so he didn't. But no, he could have just fucking teleported himself there.
Do you think that by running, he actively triggered a potential future?
And that's why the people who are running the simulation have to come back and start messing with the sliders to try and find a back in normalcy.
Oh my god, dude, that's exactly what it was. He tried to run knowing he would win because he saw a future, and then the current people in the time travel program came back and stopped him.
Well, if by him running in 2016, that means that he lost and Trump won, right?
Right. So do you think Donald Trump has a time machine?
Well,
these are the questions we need to ask.
Okay, so I don't know if Alex is going to say the same thing, but there is a very deep conspiracy theory about Trump and time travel and his family. Yes.
What? Is this true?
Yes.
Stop.
God, yes, it is.
What?
It's something that I haven't gone into. And I was just like, it is about Barron and like.
Which is the same as, have you seen Back to the Future 2, Mathis?
I was going to ask, is it about Barron? Oh my God. It's lining up. Hold
on. I need to math this out. Hold on. This is important.
You've seen Back to the Future 2, Mathis?
No, I've only seen the first one.
Gentlemen, I have a request. I know this will take a long time, but on Wednesday, October 30th, can we make our episode that?
Can we do that? Are we going to do a Halloween live show this year? Because fuck, that would be.
I would love, oh my God. I would love for the one we do right before the election to be about the Donald Trump time travel. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's your go and vote day.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. I love this.
Write a note. I'll note that down. You want to come back for that one, JP?
I'm on board.
Oh, do you think that's why he hates Obama so much? Because the two of them are time travel rivals?
Why is this all coming together? I don't understand how this is all coming together.
You're doing better writing than Basiago. You got to take it out. You're outwriting the master.
I love this.
Yeah, you could take this and run with it.
You might be onto something, Jesse.
I can't believe that there is a conspiracy where he's time. Of course there is. I just can't believe I didn't know this till now. No.
Wait, hold on. Does that mean that what about the whole Mars thing? Is it just time travel, or has Trump also been to Mars?
I don't think Trump's been to Mars. The time travel conspiracy with Trump has to do with something called Barron Trump's marvelous underground journey, which is somehow tied to. This is a text.
That's a book. That's an old book.
In like.
Don't do this bit. No, we can't. Yeah. Okay. That's the only trailer. That's the only trailer you get.
That's the only trailer. If you want, yeah, you're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna put the episode together.
You know what? Can I tell you something even more funny? During the 80s and 90s, someone named Barron would contact newspaper outlets to tell them stories about Donald Trump, and everyone assumed it was just Donald Trump putting on a voice. But what if, bro?
No, what if? So here's your little visual. Here's your only little visual teaser, and this is an image from the book, and it's supposedly also it is actual like Donald Trump's kid, young Barron Trump as well. Like it's supposed to be maybe him, and he's time traveling or something like that.
What?
Like, this is how this show will never end. You know what I mean? Like this shit's infinite. Shit like this is everywhere.
Wait, there's a little person in his left arm.
Oh, there is a little person in his left arm. You're right. Is that a doll?
I don't know if that's a doll or if that because the dog is on the far right.
That's the Buddha. That's Siddhartha, bro. That's Siddhartha, man. That's.
Oh my god!
What the hell is this? You literally sent me someone's drawing of one of the like sages from Legend of Zelda. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
All right, enough of a trailer.
Yeah, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
That's incredible.
That has to be your podcast thumbnail.
Yeah.
For that episode is this
Oh
image.
my god!
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
We have to do this. Write it down on the calendar. This must happen. I've never been more invested. Oh my god! Yes,
that's so. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Honestly, Jesse, that's like something that's been around.
Why would I know about that?
It's been around since when I stumbled across it was when Trump was running for president the first time, like 2016.
Yeah,
like it's been around for a long fucking time. It's wild.
Yo, I'm gonna say, crazy people, you wild, but like I enjoy you. I'm here for it.
The picture is so good. It's such a beautiful drawing.
It's very.
It is. It's such a beautiful.
It looks nothing like that child.
Well, maybe
all.
when he was little. Maybe when he was little.
When he was younger. This was supposed to be when he was younger. Like compare it to like
back before you got in a feud with him, Jesse.
Yeah. That's it for our episode today. Thank you, JP, for joining us and coming along on a crazy journey as I enjoy bringing many of our guests along. Where can people find you if they want more of you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of everywhere as itmeJP. You can find me on Twitter, or I guess X, as they call it, YouTube, Twitch, all the places. Just search it up and you can find me. Pretty simple.
R.I.P. MCU crew. Thanks, Jesse, for killing it.
Jesse killed it.
What?
He killed it.
Jesse, don't kill MC Crew. Just love MCU Crew.
We're gonna have to get a time machine.
We were just talking about doing something for Deadpool.
We're gonna have to get a time machine.
He's doing Red Hulk. You better be careful. He's turning into Red Hulk.
Oh, gotta be careful.
No.
Careful.
We're off to go do a mini-sode for everybody over at patreon.com/ChilluminatiPod. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We appreciate you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Anyway, me and my wife were sitting outside indulging on our porch one night, enjoying ourselves. I needed to go to the bathroom, so I stepped back inside, and after a few moments, I hear my wife go, "Holy shit, get out here." So I quickly dash back outside, and she's looking up at the sky in awe. I look up too, and there's a perfect line of dozen lights traveling across the sky.